Shalom, Chazak Eliyahu here from Just a Word, and welcome. All right, let me give you an update, and this is a very important update. You know, when the Most High told us to come to South Africa, and you can see the link up top as to that video wherein he showed us where we should go. When we came to South Africa, we knew nothing about where we were going or why we were coming here. We had no understanding whatsoever. And this is a long-standing, what should I say, a principle that we use here, that we obey first and then we will get the understanding later. Just as Abraham, when he was told to leave, the Most High told him to leave where he was and go to a land. And Abraham did not ask any questions. So we have that principle, not asking the Most High any questions. So when we came to South Africa, we were just here waiting for the leading of the Most High. And since we have come here, so many things have happened, so many great manifestations and revelations that have taken place. And so I have decided to do a few videos to show the manifestations. And one of those manifestations is to the true land of Yasharal, the true land of Israel. And we now have no doubt as to where the land is, because the Most High told Abraham to sojourn in a land that he was to inherit. Yes, and he sojourned there as stranger. And we have realized that this is what the Most High have made us do. He has made us sojourn in the land. And we're going to show you probably through a series of videos that this is the land that we are in. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But this is the land. You can go to the book of Hebrews and see the same thing happened to Abraham. And the Most High has us doing the same thing as Abraham. What can I say? It sounds crazy, but through these series of videos, I hope to show you why I don't have any doubt that this is the land. And this video we're going to begin with showing the land of briars and thorns. Because the Most High made some prophecies and some curses that his land would come up with briars and thorns. And we are going to look at those prophecies today and actually show you right where we are that this is actually the land of briars and thorns. And so the country of South Africa is divided up in different provinces, and different provinces have different attributes. So I don't know how far the land spreads, but I know that where I am, that this is the land. And we're going to show as well where Jerusalem is ultimately in one of our videos. And we're going to show how the Most High has shown us a personal revelation to this group that he has called here, that Jerusalem is actually very near to here. And we're going to show that in a video by itself. That is a highlight. When the Most High showed us that, we said game, set, and match. We just encourage everyone to just trust the Most High. When he says to move, just move. Do not try to figure this out, because it has been our experience going through all of this, that people have been trying to figure out the amount of questions people have asked us. Yes? We moved without asking any questions, and people are asking us to validate. I don't believe this and I believe that, and we don't know. All we know is when he speaks, and when he speaks, we move. And he has rewarded us bountifully by giving us some beautiful revelations that many people, or most people in the world, have not been given. So please watch this video, all right? And today we are going to look at the land of briars and thorns, all right? Okay, so ever since we came to South Africa, we noticed something very unique. And that is, the place is full of briars and thorns, as the Bible said in the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and other places. It spoke about the land will be of briars and thorns. And as you can see, vegetation here, you can see thorns. All right, so let's go and let's see in the area. Everywhere we go, thorns, thorns, thorns. And if you notice the trees are also thorns. Yeah? There we go again. Thorns. Just as the scripture said, this is how you will know the land. Alright, so in the middle of all these thorns and thistles, if you look here, thorns again. Thorns again. But in the midst of the thorns down here again, but in the midst of the thorns, there is this tree without thorns. And this tree is the willow tree. This is the African willow, also called the willow roos, I think it is called. This is a willow, and we were called to come to South Africa based on dreams about the willow. So ever since we came here, everything has been based on the willow. The first place we came to live, willows were there. And as a matter of fact, we were called based on a dream about Willow Dean. And Dean means valley. And where we stayed first when we came to South Africa, we had around the corner Valley Road. Willow, Valley, Willow Dean, we had Valley Road. And on Valley Road was nothing but willows. And when we came here, it's the same thing. Right outside where we live, there is a kind of semicircle that is formed by willow trees in the midst of all the briars and thorns. And of course, the willow represents hope. It represents the hope of the Most High, and that we should be standing tall in the midst of hope. We should be able to bend, and we should be able to go through all sorts of problems and pressure and still remain standing in the midst of it all. The willow is the hope of Yasharal. It represents the law. It represents the hope of entering into the kingdom of the Most High. Alright? Let's go. And another significant thing, before you enter where we are staying, we see this huge clump of thorns right here, right at the entrance. Huge clump of thorns, but right over it, what do we have? The tree of hope, the willow tree. There is hope, and the hope overpowers the curses. This is the hope of our people, the hope of entering into Mount Zion. Alright? We are showing you we are on the land. This is the land of Yasharal. The Most High called us and told us to come here. We had no idea why we were to come here. And revelation after revelation is making us realize that just like Abraham, who was called to sojourn in a land that he was to inherit, just as Abraham was called to sojourn as a stranger in the land in which he was to inherit, that is why the Most High brought us here, to sojourn in a land that we were to inherit, to sojourn as if we are strangers in the land. This is the land of Yasharal. Look on the ground. This is the land of Yasharal that's in the Bible. This is the land. Alright, as you can see out there, the trees of hope in the background. All these trees, the trees of hope, are in the midst of the thorns. And if you go all around, clumps of thorns, everywhere you go, thorns. Everywhere you look, thorns. But right above the thorns, the tree of hope, the willow. Alright? And this is the Jerusalem thorn. This is a thorn that they said they used to make the crown that they placed on Yahusha's head. What a wicked act. Look at that, these sharp thorns. Look at that. Whoa. What a wicked act to put this on a man's head. Whoa. So here are animals that thrive here. Sheep. Yeah. Now Isaiah 7:25 says, on all hills that shall be digged with the mattock, they shall not come thither the fear of briers and thorns, but it shall be for the sending forth of oxen and for the breeding of lesser cattle. Over here, there is no fear of the briars and thorns. But what do we see? We see it for the oxen, cows, and also lesser cattle. And the lesser cattle, of course, are goats and sheep. If you look over there, you see the goats. Sheep just ran down the lane a while ago. Yes, that's what the land is used for, just as the prophecy says in Isaiah 7:25. Very, very accurate. Everything matching up with the scriptures. And you see this place here is used for cows. I think the cows have gone out into the bushes. They should be back later. But just as the prophecy says, no fear of the briars and thorns. They just use it for the grazing of cows, oxen, and the lesser cattle, the goats and the sheep. Alright, so this is just an introduction to the revelation of the land. Alright, hope that brought something to you. Next, we are going to be looking at, in our next video, we are going to be looking at the land being prophesied as being desolate. So the land being desolate until he gathers the 12 tribes back into the land. The land being desolate means that that place that they call Jerusalem, Israel, cannot be Israel according to prophecies. And most importantly, we are going to look at where Jerusalem is. Alright? This is Kazak Eliyahu Yasharal coming to you from the land of Yasharal, that most people don't know is Yasharal, hidden in plain sight. But all you have to do is trust in the Most High. Look into His prophecies. Open our minds and know that we have been lied to by the people of this earth, because we have been deceived by the leaders of this earth who rule this earth by keeping the children of Yasharal hidden, by keeping the land of Yasharal hidden, and by selling us a lie. Alright? Until next time, stay tuned for another one of our videos. Shalom.